So as we begin, is the precursor to beginning actually is there is a chat box on Zoom, and many of you probably are experts on Zoom by now because of our lives that we've been Zooming and re-Zooming. There's a chat box. If you'll go ahead and type in any questions you may have, what we'll do is have Linda be able to read the questions so that everyone can hear them, and then David will go ahead and respond to those questions if they're for our speaker today. And if they're about the chamber, put things in there and we'll be glad to respond to those as well. So again, we'll be starting in just a couple of minutes here. Thank you all for being on.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hey, JP, good to see you. David, good. I'm excited to be able to bring you on and introduce you, but it will take a couple of minutes because we just want to cover a couple of shameless plugs and stuff. So here's the chat box that we're talking about. So on your screen, you'll be able to see where you can put the chat in case you're not familiar with it. And what you'll do is you just type it in, and then we'll go ahead and be able to have Linda ask the questions, and David will answer them. If you've not already done so, if you could just use the mute button. It's in different locations depending if you're on a computer or if you're on a phone or an iPad, but look for the mute, the microphone, and then just if you click over it, that'll be, you can just mute yourself there. We have some great upcoming events. Of course, if you go to our chambers website there, you'll be able to see it. And from Gunny, David, Gunny is supervising you. So just want you to know, 2 thumbs up. Okay. This is a pretty exciting thing. You know, I'm so impressed with my staff, and this is done through Desiree. Each of the staff has been so creative during these difficult times that we've been faced with, and to be able to do something in regards to engaged. We have a POSH, it's called, it's our mixer, it's our pants optional social hour. And the next one will be on June 16th, a week from tomorrow. And so we would love for you to plug into it. If you've got questions, please connect with Desiree at mikechamber.org. And it will start at, I believe, 3:30 until 4:30. Great fun, interaction. And again, just very impressed with each of my staff members that have come up with different unique ways to keep everyone plugged in and trying to do the norm or a new norm. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the slide that's up right now, this is on July 2nd. It'll be a Thursday morning. Paul Webb does just an extraordinary training. And if you're not familiar with NLP, it's a unique way to basically understand who you're talking with. And instead of selling, you're really just learning the art of how to listen and communicate with people. So if you do your reservations right now, if you jump on, you'll see that the member rate is $25 per member. It's $75 for non-members. One of his sessions alone is worth about $129 on a retail value. So either price points that you're paying, we really encourage you to know the savings that you're having. So if you've not registered yet, please do so. And then our next slide that we'll have up there, oh, that's me. Okay, so I guess we're ready to start. So yeah, it's 8:05. We should go ahead and start, 8:06 already. Why don't we just go through, Linda, would you please just read off the people's names that are on the call so that David has an idea who he's talking with right now. And of course, we're on Facebook Live, so we don't have the names of those people, but Linda, if you would just read off who you have logged in.
Yeah, of course. We have Robin Joe from Prime Care. We have Saul. We have Desiree here from the Chamber. We have Stephanie here from the chamber. We have Connie Newhan. We have Dale Sarver from SCORE. We have Don Williamson, our chairman of the board here at the Corona Chamber. We have Elizabeth Hayden from Clout Consulting. We have Ellie Van Dornum from Clout Consulting. We have Gunny. We have Jan Steiner from Make Dust. We have JP from DFI Insurance. We have Mark Edwards. We have Michael Ortiz. We have Mike Ryan. We have Paul Webb. We have Paul Binder Badesha. We have Robert Yanez here from the chamber. And that completes everybody on our Zoom list today.
And there'll be others probably joining on in a couple of minutes, but I am so excited to be able to introduce David. And thank you so much, Linda, for coordinating this and getting everything organized. You know, David is a unique individual. I loved how the promo, how Linda and Stephanie were able to put together something about the joke about there's a Marine and there's I forget how he did it, but they did 3 different people that walk into a bar and it's all the same person. And it's David Brambila. He's quite a unique individual, 30-year resident and Corona business owner. He's honorably been serving through the Marine Corps from 1993 to 2001. He graduated from Cal Poly Pomona in the School of Business in 2003. He is president of his company called Creative Marketing. It's a local marketing company that helps organizations tell their stories through print and promotional items. He's also a real estate broker for Brambila Properties. When he's not busy running the multiple businesses and working with all of his clients and his employees, he's busy volunteering in our community. He serves on many local boards, including the Corona Cinco de Mayo Committee, the American Legion Post 742 in Corona. By the way, he is now the commander of that. He is District 21 American Legion and Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. In 2018, the Corona Chamber of Commerce was so honored and privileged to be able to present him with the Making a Difference Award for his volunteerism and for truly making a difference in our community and in America. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Brambila. David.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Before we get started, I do want to give a special shout out to the individuals who work really hard behind the scenes to put this program together. Thank you to Stephanie, thank you to Linda, Desiree, and the rest of the chamber staff, Bobby, of course, and also an unknown hero. Don Williamson is always out there working really hard for the chamber, really being an advocate out there. And I just want to thank Don for all his hard work that he's doing promoting businesses and helping our community out. So thank you. So I'm going to start my presentation here. Can everybody see that?
We're not seeing a shared screen yet.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
There we go.
All right, guys, before we get started, I want to just introduce my family. This is my wife, Venus Brambila. We just celebrated our 24th year anniversary a couple of weeks ago. So she's been the rock in supporting me in my business ventures, my personal life throughout my career. Without her, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I just want to acknowledge her and just, I love her and just want to make sure that you guys know that she's an intricate part of who I am and what I do for my community and for my businesses. My family's my junior. He's 21 years old. He's just celebrated his 21st birthday also a couple of weeks ago. You know, I love being out there and showing him how to be a man. We really enjoy shooting together. We go out to the range and I show him how to shoot. That second picture is he's a freshman at UC Riverside. That's his. That was 2 years ago. That's us taking him to his dorm. Then last year we decided to get a condo near UCR, so that's him moving into his condo. Here's my little rugrat. This is Jacob. He's 9 years old. He loves to eat noodles, and his smile is infectious. You know, we have a tradition. We like to go and get haircuts here in town, right at Great Clips, and we go next door to eat some Chinese food. And we just had our first haircut in 3 months, so we both look pretty. Hopefully, I'm looking pretty sharp, and definitely he does too. So I do have a very large family. The picture on my left is the people that live in Corona. This is my wife's side of the family and my family. The picture on the right, those are all my cousins. We had a reunion, a cousin reunion about 6 months ago. And those are cousins that live within a 20-mile radius of me. So we're definitely a large family, and there's always something going on with our family every weekend, if not every other weekend. One person that wasn't shown in that picture is my sister, Vanessa. My sister, Vanessa, is an active duty Marine. Picture on the left, she pretty much, about 5 years ago, she told me, "Hey, brother, I want to join the Marines. Can you help me?" And I said, absolutely. So that's me training her on marksmanship. Took her out to a local range here at Rahajas. Fast forward 5 years later, she's now a drill instructor at Parris Island, South Carolina. She is the one in green. Just that's kind of a little joke there, but she's actually the third person on from the left. And those are all female Marines. Marines are Marines, regardless of gender. We're trained to be hard and to protect our country, and definitely that's a very hard picture there. All right, enough about my family. So here's my story. I'm actually a homegrown entrepreneur. I've been in Corona for over 30 years now. I graduated Buena Vista High School in 1992. I joined the Marines Reserves in 1993. I went to Norco College. I got my associate's degree in the year 2000. And I went to Cal Poly Pomona and graduated in 2003. You know, we're always told in society we have to study, we have to do everything that society tells us: go to school, get good grades, go to college, and get a good job and retire. And that's how I started my career. Is doing that, you know, going to school, going to college, getting my degree. You know, in the middle of all of that, you know, I was in the reserves, so I still had a job. I had a job. I worked for a printing company for many years. That was my very first job after I joined the Marine Corps. And my dream was not to be an entrepreneur. It was to work hard and work my way through the corporate ladder and retire and do pretty much what most of America does. Well, that changed. In my second semester at Cal Poly Pomona, I was so excited with my business plan and doing all the research that the school was telling me that I couldn't wait. I actually started a local business here in Corona while I was going to school full time. I was working full time, married, had a kid. The entrepreneur bug just hit me, and it bit me hard. And I couldn't wait till I graduated. I did it right in the middle of school. So my first business was Sky's the Limit. It was a costume and party store that was located on the corner of 6th and West Grand. It's actually right next door to 7-Eleven, across the street from the old Civic Center. So I ran this business for about 6 years. Again, I didn't quit my day job. This was something that I was doing on the side. After I got off of work, I went straight to my store. I was like most entrepreneurs. I was everything. I was the delivery driver. Every Friday night, I'd put together and get the van loaded and everything ready for Saturday's deliveries. I would go and deliver jumpers and tables and chairs and any balloon package that families would buy for their kids. So I worked. I had two jobs, my regular job and this job, and And I did this for 6 years, every single day at work, just hustling, doing everything I could to keep my business going. But this entrepreneur bug that hit me right away, it almost went crashing down. I opened up this business in 2001. Peak season is Halloween, so it's in October. So we're banking on having a great October, and this is, surviving the first year in business is key. We have to work hard and make sure that we survive the first year. And if you survive the first year, then your chances of surviving thereafter increase tremendously. Well, if you guys remember, September of 2001 was 9/11. So that dream almost came crashing down. That year, America was not having parties. They were not sending their kids out to trick-or-treating. So we were really about to close before we even got started. So we continued on. We trekked on. We kept going. We pushed the business, and fast forward 6 years later, it was time for me to have a change. I wanted to not work two full-time jobs, and so I decided to sell the business. And we sold the business, made some good money, and then I decided to just work for corporate America. At my day job, I climbed up the ladder, and I became the vice president of operations for a multi-million-dollar marketing firm. This firm is it's very well known in Orange County, but because of another crisis in America, we had the 2008 Great Recession. And because of that, I became a forced entrepreneur. I was very content with not owning a business, having only one job, and climbing the corporate ladder. So I was forced to. Hang on 1 second, I'm having a lot of sound here. I was forced to really open up 2 businesses simultaneously. Brambila Properties is a real estate company. I'm the broker of that firm, and with some real estate agents. During the Great Recession, we were active. We were selling a lot of homes, a lot of short sales, even people that weren't affected by the recession. So it was very active, very, very busy. While at the same time, I opened up creative marketing. Creative marketing is what my trade is. That's all I knew how to do. I knew how to sell printing. I knew how to sell promotional items. I knew how to target audiences and tell an effective story. So creative marketing and Brambila Properties came into fruition at the same time in 2008, right in the middle of the Great Recession. And by the way, I quit my job and focused on my 2 companies. And I did that 2 weeks after my little one was born. So talk about taking a risk. It's something that I felt I had to do. I needed to look after my own well-being and not rely on anybody, feeding me. So there I am, a forced entrepreneur. Creative marketing. Well, creative marketing is a local marketing company that's specializing in print and promotional items. Like I mentioned before, I worked for a well-known Orange County marketing firm, and it's been going on 12 years now, but 11 full years out on my own. Well, creative marketing is, we are a company that helps organizations tell their stories. The organizations that tell their stories the loudest and set themselves apart from all the clutter wins. What does that mean? Right now we go to our mailboxes, we open up our mailbox, we have junk mail, we have bills, we have a lot of stuff that comes out of our mailbox. We open up our email accounts, we open up our inbox, there's hundreds and hundreds of emails that come through. So all that all of us are experiencing is clutter. So how do we separate your message as a company with all the clutter, all the competition that is out there in your inbox, on your computer screen, in your mailbox, and even with the friends and family that you're socializing with? So the organizations that can tell their story the most effectively are going to win. And the way that I'm able to help organizations is through good graphic designs, print communications, selling of promotional items, through social media and website design. You know, we have Ellie Van Dornum and Elizabeth Hayden on the call, and you know, I partner up with companies, local companies like them, Cloud Consulting, that I'm an expert in when it comes to print communications, when it comes to promotional items, even graphic design. But I don't. There's a lot more to marketing than just those aspects. So partnering up with other local companies that specialize in other forms of marketing and media is definitely very important. So instead of telling you guys about all the products and services that I offer and what I do, I really want to share a case study, something that I was able to apply to an organization here locally here in town. As Bobby mentioned earlier, I am the incoming commander for Joe Dominguez American Legion Post 742. You know, that is a great organization, and they have a great story to tell. Unfortunately, at the time, they were not able to share that story or tell that story effectively. So, you know, what was happening is they're about to go under. This is a going on 75-year organization that was struggling financially. They were struggling altogether. Morale was low. This organization has 250 Corona veterans that belong to this post. And, you know, going into this building and seeing their faces, seeing the building that was falling apart was very demoralizing, and it was heartbreaking. And I felt it was my calling to step in and help this organization, make sure that I'm able to brand them and help them tell their story so that we can lift morale, walk with our heads up high, and press forward with our mission. And that's to help veterans, promote Americanism, help our youth, and protect our national security. So what did I do? First thing we did is we needed to get them a social presence. We created a website with the help of Cloud Consulting, post742ca.org. They had a Facebook account with less than 100 members following them. Right now, they're at 500 people following them. I created a newsletter for them called The Canteen. The Canteen is a local newsletter that pretty much goes out to all of membership, and it gets distributed to the community. That newsletter really helped boost morale. It told all the members that had, you know, almost didn't want to go to the post anymore because of the shape that it was in, or just they just for whatever reason there was some disconnect. This newsletter that we mailed out on a quarterly basis gave them all the up-to-date information that what was going on at Post 742. That newsletter is something that was designed by me or by my company, that was printed, that was copywritten, was edited. Everything from start to finish was done by Creative Marketing. So we're not just a print company, but we have copywriters, we have graphic designers, we have printers, we have everything that we need from beginning to end to make sure that your message on paper is communicated effectively. Another thing that I did for them is just basic business stuff. Is let's get everybody that's out in the community, get them some business cards. Let's make sure that not just business cards, that we have business cards that promote our message, that has a uniform behind it. We all, you know, if we have 15 people handing out cards, that they're all the same. When we're sending out letters, thank you letters or ask letters to the community, that isn't done in a professional manner. So I created letterhead and envelopes, a whole stationery package for them so that they can communicate effectively and look really like a professional organization, which we are. They just needed a little bit of help. Anytime we had a community events, we handed out a top-notch program that people can read and follow along and also take home with them. On the right of my presentation, you'll see the front cover of one of the programs that we designed. And this was celebrating the 72nd anniversary of our post, which was also the 100-year anniversary for the American Legion as a whole. So this, you know, these type of things is being able to have good messaging and done in printed matter that people can take home is definitely something that helped us and helped that organization move forward. Another part of my company is promotional items. Well, what is promotional items? You see the picture on the left. You can see some veterans that are standing in front of a table tent and a table cover. So that, you know, when you're talking about being in front of your audience and being boots on the ground, there you need to be in front of them. And this is an organization that is out in our community that goes out and speaks and recruits veterans and is doing a lot of things in Corona promoting Americanism. So we need to be out there. So by having this tent, this table cover, and, you know, handing out a promotional items with pens, Post-it notes, just anything, hats, any kind of leave behind really helped enforce that messaging. Another thing I did is I wanted to make sure we all had uniforms. We all wore, you know, same jacket. We have a color guard team that wears their traditional uniform, but, you know, on winter days or cold days, we needed to get a jacket. We wanted to make sure that the jacket was a uniform jacket. So we created jackets, shirts, hats. So we all look the same when we're out in the community. This organization really looks like a professional, tight-knit organization. One of the other things that I just you know want to share is these organizations, and not just you know, post 742, but any organization that is trying to tell their story. You have to tell it effectively with all print, all of social marketing, promotional items, video, all of that. So my job is to help organizations tell their story. I am a marketer. I do specialize in print promotional items, but I'm also out there in the community. You cannot tell your story unless you're out in front of your clients' faces, in front of your potential donors' face. So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is veteran causes. I'm you know, my part-time job, I get paid zero money for it. I love to promote Americanism. I like to promote veterans. I like to make sure that the veterans that have taken care of this country are being taken care of from our society and from our population. So what I do is I'm out there. I'm out there in the trenches promoting veteran causes. I am the incoming commander of Post 742. I'm also the District 21 first vice commander. What does that mean? District 21 is it's categorized. It's all the American Legions in Riverside County. There are 17 American Legions in Riverside County, and I am the second in command, so to speak, that oversees the operations of those 17 American Legions. We want to make sure that the messaging that's being done at the Corona Post 742 and promoting our 4 programs, our 4 pillars, is done in all the other 16 American Legions. So I'm working really hard to make sure that every individual post is doing the same thing that we're doing here in Corona. I'm also a board member for VAREP. VAREP is the Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. Pretty much what we do, that organization is a nonprofit organization. It's a national organization, but their headquarters is actually here in Corona. The mission of this organization is to help educate the real estate industry, from real estate agents to lenders, to escrow companies, to even the consumer and the agents themselves. We want veterans to be able to live the American dream and be able to purchase their home. There is a stigma out there that a veteran, a VA loan is a complicated loan. And therefore, in a competitive market where there's multiple offers in a purchase, the veteran's VA loan is usually at the bottom of the list. It may be a very strong offer, but they don't care about the dollar amount. They know that it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's no longer the case. The VA has really streamlined the process so that we can close in 30 days, just like any other traditional loan. So I want to educate and continue to educate the real estate industry to ensure that our veterans can become homeowners. I feel that as business owners and entrepreneurs, that we have an obligation to our community, that we need to get involved. We can't just run our businesses, and yes, pushing businesses and making sure that we contribute to the economy with employees and commerce is great. But we have an obligation as entrepreneurs, as business owners, to also give back. One of the other things that I'm passionate about is the Corona Cinco de Mayo parade. It's a local community event that we put on here in Corona, and it's a nonprofit that promotes Americanism, but also it promotes the culture of Mexican culture. I am an American first and foremost, but I come from a Mexican heritage, and I'm proud of that heritage. This parade has been going on now for 38 years. It's a tradition in Corona, and I'm very passionate about ensuring that this tradition continues, that we continue to have this cultural event here in town. And more importantly, this event raises funds. We raised over $250,000 in the last 20 years, and those funds actually get donated back to the Corona Norco Unified School District, and they're given to graduating seniors in the form of scholarships. So, there's no reason why we can't promote a cause and make sure that those funds that are generated actually go and are being put back in our community. We are putting this back into our next generation of business owners, and I'm very proud of my nonprofit organizations that I belong to, and the programs that I'm promoting on their behalf. One thing that I want to do, this is my dream, this is my mission this year. I'm the incoming commander of Post 742. You guys, I'm sure, have seen the news, seen cities out there where you go into a main street or one of the big streets in the city, and there's flags just everywhere. We were fortunate enough that 2 years ago, the American Legion Post 742, we inherited a program from the Kiwanis Club that was gonna I guess shut down, for a better word, and we inherited that program. It's kind of stuck with a little bit of red tape with the city. In order to put flags in front of businesses, it requires drilling, it requires permits. So I want to be able to cut through that red tape. I want City of Corona to become a flag city. I want to be able to put flags in residences, in people's homes. As an American, we need to be proud of Old Glory. We need to wave the red, white, and blue. Right now, we're going through some dire times, and at the end of the day, whatever side of the agenda that you're on, we're all Americans, and we need to promote Americanism. And I'm taking this project as my pet project, and I'm going to be challenging my city council, my businesses, my chamber of commerce to help us push this program forward. I want a flag in front of every business. I want a flag in front of every residence, and I'm gonna work hard to ensure that this mission is accomplished. If anybody knows who I am and what I do, I accomplish my missions, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm going to need everyone listening here support and help make sure that we can make this program, this dream, into fruition. That's all I have. Thank you, guys.
That is awesome. I've sat here trying to type in notes on the computer and handwrite some notes because I was having technical difficulties. But David, you are truly I loved how you said you're a forced entrepreneur. And so many times, I don't know if people grow up thinking they're going to be an entrepreneur or that they're going to be their own boss or whatever, but you have totally accomplished that. And I really like the fact that you spend so much time and energy on the community and helping in the different nonprofits that you are involved with. And I know that we missed the parade this year because of the COVID situation, but it won't be long before we're going to be able to be back involved there. Can you just touch on, as an entrepreneur, if you could just share maybe one or two things that you found that's a different mindset from an employee to an ownership. I know that you have employees that you need to take care of, making sure that their paychecks clear the bank, that the electrical bill is paid, that rent is paid, all the different things that go into effect. But is there one or two different key points that you could steer to this group here to help them?
Absolutely. I think, as an employee, we see our bosses, we see, we don't see, we see, what we see, what's in front of them, but they don't get to see what's happening behind the scenes. They don't see that we're staying up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, working on and trying to figure out how to continue to grow the company, to make sure that their checks clear, to make sure that the business's mission is there at hand. So they're one of the biggest things as being an employee and becoming an entrepreneur is I wasn't prepared for the long hours. You're always told, well, be prepared to work hard. Well, you have a number in mind. People work 8 hours. Okay, maybe I'll work 10, 12 hours. That's not the point. As an entrepreneur, you're on the clock 24/7. Doesn't stop. Weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, there is no stop. There is no, I'm going to clock out and then start my work on Monday. It's an ongoing thing. Work is always on my mind. I'm always working, either behind a desk, taking notes, answering my phone. It's hard to be an entrepreneur, and those are the things that I think employees don't see and don't appreciate. But definitely it's fulfilling. There's a positive side to all of this, and the positive side is you're out on your own. This is the life I chose for myself, and I really enjoy it, and I enjoy being a part of something that's greater than me.
Awesome. I want to just ask, did you know Ellie before the ELR program coming to the American Legion?
No, I did not. First time I met Ali was at the ELR, very day one, when the Executive Leadership Roundtable group came to American Legion Post 742. I was actually not there when you guys first showed up. Some other board of officers were there, and all of a sudden I get this frantic call and said, David, we got like 20 some business owners here at the post. We need your help. We need you over here right now. So I dropped what I was doing and I raced to the American Legion, and there I was. That's how I met Ellie.
Awesome. And what's nice is, Ellie, I'm not going to say single-handedly, but the mastermind of organization and communication was able to help our Executive Leadership Roundtable program for that year. The community project was to help reestablish, rebuild, refurbish the Legion as far as a building, a structure, not as far as all the things that you do within the organization. But a true friendship was developed and built. And I'm so glad she's on the call today. But every time I drive by or I happen to think of the American Legion, I just get a smile about knowing that our chamber, but fortunately through Ellie and that whole group, we're able to do a huge service to the community to help your organization. And it's nice because I think you realize through these types of things, you get business relationships. So everything that you're doing, whether you're doing something as you were involved with the American Legion, you were able to build some relationship that turned into a business partnership to allow you to expand the business that actually puts money on the table so that you can go and do all the volunteerism. And you'll find the people that are listening today, you'll find that the more people that get involved in and are helping other people, it becomes a win-win. It's not what as you're doing things, it's things that will be able for you to give back to the community, and it comes back tenfold. And so very happy over that. And I'm so excited about the flag program. When we're offline, please give me a call. I've got timing is perfect. I've got a spot for you that I need to make sure that we have. We've had the flag out in front of the chamber for years, and I love your goal, and I think timing is right to become a flag city. So I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and, yeah, Elizabeth, I should give you a little credit too. I just saw something flash up. Elizabeth's business partner is Ellie, so she's given a shout out for Ellie too. So, but let's go ahead and I want to find out, Linda, are there any questions in the queue?
Oh, we don't have any questions at this moment.
Okay.
Bobby,
And so-
if I may just elaborate a little bit on what you just touched upon.
Absolutely.
Meeting Ellie at the ELR, I mean, we immediately clicked. I can see the passion in her eyes and the sadness of the shape that the building was in. I really, we have grown into a great friendship. I'm always on the phone with her. We at least chat once a week. We're texting every day or emailing every day. So because of her, we were able to absolutely renovate this American Legion. But also there's Don Williamson that's on the phone. If it wasn't for Don Williamson, who actually brought the ELR and gave them a tour of Post 742, that they never would have been able to see us and be touched by what we do and what our needs were. And also you, Bobby, you're up there, you're promoting everything that the Corona Chamber Foundation, the Corona Chamber, you're actually a pillar in our community that really just helps organizations. And without all three of you, we would not have been able to do this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do for our community.
Yeah, that's very, very kind. I'm going to have Don Williamson, if you'd say a word or two, and then I know that there are some questions that are coming in, but Don, David had kind of truly spoken exactly what transpired for us to be able to get over to the Legion. And this a very unusual situation. The Legion, you need to be a service person that joins the Legion. And David, correct me if I'm wrong, but Don Williamson was presented with I think the only honorary Legion membership here for Post 742. There may be another one, but I just wanted to mention that because of Don's big heart and his willingness to stand behind what his convictions, the Post really shows their love and appreciation to him. So Donnie, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Bobby, and it's a great honor in my life is to be associated with that Post and the men and women who are part of it, among the finest people I know. But let me just tell you briefly about that Post. That Post is historic in many ways in this town. After the war, and I'll just tell you briefly, we were still segregating in Corona, and the Hispanic men could not join the Legion that was existing here at that time, and they started their own, and it thrived, and it contributed so much to this town. It helped evolve and change Corona, and I always had a very soft spot my whole life for that Post. And when we found out that it was struggling to get everybody in this community involved, sound the alarm that we can't let this thing die, because not only of what we need for our veterans today, but what to honor those that set that thing up and made all the sacrifices. And I'll tell you what, David is the savior of that place, and I can't tell you enough about David and how he stepped up into a leadership role and filled a vacuum that existed there. I mean, I really believe he was sent to that Post and pulled it up and made it the successful operation it is today. Without David and some other of the individuals down there, it just would not have continued. And then to have Ellie and the ELR group step up and take the reins, and you're right, Bobby let that happen and scheduled it, and it was a real team effort to make that Post and bring it back up to one of the premier Posts in the region. And David, I really give him so much credit. Him and his wife and his family, they're just outstanding people. And we're very fortunate to have them in our community. And I hope it doesn't end. I mean, I look forward to continue supporting this Post and to keeping our community involved with this Post and helping our veterans.
And don't forget, Donnie and David, you know, there was one person I don't think you did mention, but your father-in-law is quite an icon here in Corona. And Venus's father is Amador Corona. And he loves this town so much, he named his last name after it. So, but anyway, David, I think we have a couple of questions that I'm going to have Linda queue up in just a second. Donnie, thank you so much. And again, your patriotism and your commitment to the men and women that have served is an attribute. And we're so honored to be able to be a small part of the Legion and being able to see the success. Linda, let's go ahead though. And if you'll ask, I believe that Council Member Jason Scott had a question in there.
Yes, Councilmember Scott asked, David, what other cities are known as flag cities? I have not heard of flag cities.
Councilmember Scott, you're putting me on the spot here. I don't remember the cities per se, but I believe Newport Beach has they're not known as Flag City, but you go there and especially at 4th of July, Memorial Day, on holidays, the flags go up in front of businesses, they go up in front of residences, and it's just a beautiful scene to see. You know, there's just cities throughout the United States that on major holidays the flags go up, and all of Main Street, all of major streets, and the residences. It's a beautiful sight to see.
So, you know, if there's not an official organization or a title of a flag city, Corona can be the very first one, and we'd be honored to help the American Legion do that. And I'm sure that Council Member Scott, he is very patriotic, as well as the other council members. We'll definitely work together and see what we can do to streamline some of the processes that are currently in place so that you can do some expansion on those flags. Linda, go ahead with any other questions.
Okay, Paul Bender from Express Employment Professionals asks, could Davis tell us what they still need help with at the post?
Absolutely. Well, guys, you know, as I mentioned on my case study, we really turned that organization around. We gave them a rebrand. You know, it really elevated the visibility at Post 742. Unfortunately, you know, with the whole COVID-19 and the shelter in place, the American Legion was shut down as of the middle of March. So we have no revenue coming in for the last 10 weeks. And of course, we still have our overhead that we have to cover. So we are back again. We're struggling again financially because of this COVID, and definitely donations to help us pay our bills would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Linda, is there any others?
Yeah, Sal asks, how long would you say might it take a small Corona business to become profitable? And how long did it take you?
Well, that's a question that varies depending on industry. For my retail business, it took us 3 years to actually become profitable. You know, like that term, don't quit your day job. Definitely don't quit your day job. If you don't have a big loan from the SBA or investors that revenue that you can tap into, definitely keep your day job and push your business forward. For creative marketing, I was successful the very first year. I was profitable year one. Different type of business. It's a service business, not as much inventory in hand. The overhead's a lot smaller. So creative marketing was profitable year one. Brambila Properties, same thing. Year one, we were very profitable from the get-go.
Linda, are there any others?
Councilmember Scott just says, thank you, David. We have seen cities with flags go on holidays. We are asking because I have not heard the term. We would like to assist David on creating a means and encouraging a way for businesses and to proudly display the flag on holidays.
So David, I think that I forget the number of holidays that you currently do and the fee that the donation that you ask for the American Legion. for people to write the check to the American Legion. Do you have that off the top of your head? How many
Yes, I
times you
do.
put the flags out? Go
We
ahead.
put the flags up for 8 major holidays, and the fee is $100. With that, we'll have the American Legion veteran raise the flag in front of your business. We will render a hand salute. We will come back at sunset and pick up that flag. We'll render a hand salute before doing so. But one of the things I also want to do is I want to expand that program. You know, as a business owner, you have to put on your business hat and ensure that revenue comes in from different avenues. And so what I want to do is I actually want to partner up with general contractors. I want to. A lot of us are patriots, and we want to make sure that we display the flag correctly. And some of us might not display the flag because we don't know the rules and regulations. So I want to offer the program where we can actually we will raise a flagpole on your residence, and we will connect you with an app that lets you know when your flag needs to be lowered at half mast. And we will also put on a maintenance plan that will replace your flag for you. We'll go to your residence, we'll lower that flag, we will fold it, we'll raise the new flag, and we'll make sure that the old flag gets retired correctly. You know, that's just something that I want to do, again, for Flag City, but also as another source of revenue to promote Americanism and to also pay our bills.
Well, that's another thing that I want you to call me on too, because I can definitely, I can see a lot of opportunities there. I want to clarify that $100 is not for each day that they do the flag raising. That is $100 for the year as a donation. And of course, if you wanted to donate more, they would gladly accept that as well. And then, David, I want to talk to you offline regarding a possible senior program that maybe people can help sponsor a senior or a facility where seniors are. So we'll chat on that. I do want to make sure that we do cover everything. We're coming up on the hour that we will have been on, and I want to see if there's any other questions and go from there. So I don't know if there's anything on Facebook, on the Facebook Live. I know that it is a minute or so delay. So we need to see if there's any on that as well as in our chat box.
I do have several people watching on Facebook, but they haven't posted any questions at this moment.
If I may, Bobby, I do want to give a special shout out. There is an individual on the line. You'll see him on his name on the screen is Gunny. Gunny is actually my boss, so to speak, in the Marine Corps. It's Gunnery Sergeant Osborne. He's an E7. He's calling us from Boise, or from Idaho, sorry. But definitely somebody that mentored me when I was in the Marines, somebody that I looked up to. And thank you, Gunny, for being here and listening to all of this.
That is the beautiful thing about, typically we do these in person, and since the COVID-19, we got creative to do the social media aspect on doing the Zoom calls. And this is a great way. This is the plus. Corona being the lemon capital of the world years ago, we constantly make lemonade out of lemons, and that's what we're doing today. And Gunny, welcome. And we just want to thank you for your mentorship of David, and what a stellar individual. If all he was involved with the American Legion, boy, that would be great. But if all he was a business owner, that would be great. And if all he was involved with the Cinco de Mayo or all the other nonprofits and the charities in his church and his family, if that's all that he did, it would be great. But put it all together, and it is just a tremendous individual. So David, on behalf of the Corona Chamber, the business community, I salute you. I say to you, thank you. Thank you for your years of service in protecting our freedoms. Thank you for the years of creating jobs for our community, for people to be able to create a livelihood. And your sincerity when you talk to people It's just a beautiful thing. So thank you. Thank you for being on the call today. I want to wrap up with a couple of slides on some things that are coming up. And again, just some shameless plugs for the chamber. Linda, if you could go ahead and share on your screen those items again, and we'll wrap up with that.
One moment.
Thank you. So while she's getting that lined up, on Wednesday, we have our regular Corona Chamber business briefing, and that will be at 10 o'clock. If you've got questions on that, visit our website or give us a call at the chamber. Our mixer that's coming up on the 16th of June, it's the Pants Optional Social Hour. If you've got questions, connect with Desiree. Our next slide. Paul Webb happens to be on the call right now, and he does a tremendous job on training. And if you want to hone in on your skills, and again, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Obviously, he wants us to listen more than we talk. Paul will share with us the uniqueness of how to actually close deals, first to listen, but secondly, how to close the deals. Next. And of course, we want to say thank you to David. What an awesome job you did. So thank you so much, David. We do have our Friday, June 19th, Good Morning Corona, where we will be graduating this year's Executive Leadership Roundtable class. And I will tell you that currently we're not on an open stage, but a lot of things are changing. And by this Friday, a lot of things will be more open than before. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone up at Good Morning Corona at the Eagle Glen on Friday, June 19th at 7 a.m. Next slide. And if you're not a member of our chamber yet, that's not a problem at all. Our specialist is Robert Yanez. He can absolutely help you with understanding the dynamics and the benefits of being a member here of the Corona Chamber. And of course, register early, because July 13th, I know it's still June right now, but before you know it, our next Coffee with the Entrepreneur will be here. So if you can go ahead and register, that would be great. And I did want to put a plug in for our State of the City. The business version will be done by Jim Steiner, our mayor, and that's going to be on July 17th up at Eagle Glen. We do have some sponsorships available, as well as registrations are open now. And we'll be honoring our under 40 individuals that are under 40 years of age, the individuals to watch, people that are making a huge difference already. For those that would like to join us in our Golf Classic, that will be on Wednesday, August 5th, and the information is on your slide. And then our Women's Conference on Thursday, September 24th. Tickets are available. They're at a discounted price right now. So we welcome you to check that out. And I believe that's our last slide. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. So on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we just want to say thank you all. Thank you for being part of this today. And we look forward to seeing you around. Have a great day.
Thank you.